I'm going to jump right in because I know how busy everyone is these days. And I have been doing this really, really fun blog series about creative entrepreneurship. So if you're new here, I want you to pop over to my website, annlafollettart.com. I'm going to pop over to the blog, which is right over here in the upper right-hand corner. And so if you click that red button, you can see I've been writing about creative entrepreneurship for the past several weeks. And yesterday, I published a blog about laying the foundation of your creative business by establishing strategy first. Back in the day when I had my corporate job, whenever I would get a new assignment or a new project, I always wanted to make sure that I zoomed out and I asked myself a couple of key questions that we're going to get to in just a second. Because starting with strategy first really allows you to be a lot more effective in terms of establishing both your goals and knowing the destination. And of course, it's fine if the destination changes from time to time. It's not always totally linear, but it is really important to start with strategy first, because if you start without a plan, it can feel overwhelming. You might have lots and lots of beautiful designs, and you're really excited about your portfolio, but you're not exactly sure how to get those out into the world. Or you might feel like you actually have a creative business already, but you'd like to take it to the next level. And you're not exactly sure what are the key steps that you should be following in order to do that. Even if you feel like you're spinning your wheels, don't worry. Zoom out. Answer these 3 questions that I'm going to cover today so that you can get yourself back on track. And then watch this entire series because I'm going to walk you through my 6-part framework to be successful as a creative entrepreneur. And as you know, I had to reinvent myself in my late 50s, right? It's really essentially when I turned 60 because I lost my corporate job. And when I lost my corporate job, I lost my income, I lost my health care, I lost my identity, everything in a split second when my boss sat me down and said, "We've just eliminated your job." And the only reason I share that with you is because if I was able to completely reinvent myself in my late 50s, then you can too. And you might actually still have a job and you want to start to think about, well, what do I want to do when I retire? And you'd like to have a little bit of that maybe up and running before you leave your current job and decide to go into retirement. Maybe you're semi-retired and you actually have a lot of time on your hands and you want to build something that's your own. Or maybe you're in retirement and you realize, you know what, I actually have a lot of time now and I want to do something for me. So all of those could be the situation that you're in. Okay, so what does this mean? It means you need to define why you want to have a creative business. Now, if you have one already, you probably know why you started it, but it's always a really good idea to rethink that or go back to that why, see if it's still valid for you. You've grown since you started your business and you're in a different place in your business. And so it's always good to step back and say, why am I doing this? What am I most passionate about? Initially, my big why was financially driven because I wanted to replace my corporate income. I had a fancy corporate job and I lost it. And then all of a sudden I felt like nothing. And after being really depressed for several years trying to find another job, my husband said, "You know what, sweetie? I think the universe is telling you that it's time for you to figure out something else with this next phase of your life." And listen, I have a long new phase in my life and I love what it is that I'm doing now. And so my big why initially was I want to build a business that is going to be able to allow me to do what I love creatively, which is surface pattern design. And I also want to be able to be financially secure and to earn the type of money that I used to earn in my corporate job. So that was my big why. But I examine my big why every year to see, has it evolved? Has it changed? Is it still as strong as ever? And having it is important because it will allow you, when you're doing a lot of really hard work, you remember why you're doing it, and it helps you persevere, and it helps you break through any of the barriers that you hit as you're growing your business, because of course it's not always smooth sailing. Now, the second thing is it's really important to set some very clear creative goals and financial goals or personal goals. You want to think really, it's kind of three-dimensionally about, okay, as you embark on this, or as you're growing the existing business that you have, you want to have some milestones, right? You want to have some financial milestones that you're going to work towards, some personal milestones in terms of having more freedom in your day-to-day, and also some creative milestones. What do you want? What are some of the things you want to accomplish with the creative work that you are putting out into the world? So that is a really important part of this strategy first exercise. And then the other thing I think that is important to reflect upon is, what business do you want to create that will support your lifestyle? Your existing lifestyle, your retirement lifestyle, and also how will you have balance so that you're not creating a business that is so huge or complicated or hard to maintain that it's running your life, instead of you having a business that you enjoy, but it's an adjunct to your life, right? It is not running your life. You're running your life, and you have this beautiful business. And that's really important to figure that out so that you don't create something that you actually don't end up liking. I always like to say in closing that I am Anne LaFollette, and it's never too late to create. Bye for now, and I'll see you next week.